Yo, what's up? My name is Patrouski. Welcome back to another PokeMMO stream recap. This is stream recap 527. It's an honor to still be here, telling you guys every single day about PokeMMO tips, tricks, information, discussion, communication, everything going on in the game. We try to discuss every single day in little videos like this and recap the streams that we do Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Now, I actually have adjusted my microphone settings as of recently. A few people complained about it being a little bit quieter over the past few months or so, which I also agree with, and I had a problem with. So I'm hoping that these new settings can crank that up a notch, but keep the quality what it was. So that's the goal. Let me know your honest feedback in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed today's video, as always, and find it helpful, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Let me actually give you some content worth liking, worth subscribing, add some value to your PokeMMO journey with our typical catch events. If you don't know, in PokeMMO, they hold catch events about 3 to 4 times a week. So there's a ton of catch events every single week within PokeMMO, and it's a great way to win free reward points, the premium currency, as well as win yourself some shiny Pokemon or some good IV Pokemon. There's a catch event coming up this Wednesday. If you're watching the recap, it's probably tomorrow, this Wednesday, the 24th of June at 3 p.m. ET. I'll probably be doing this live on stream. You can watch on stream and ask me questions. Like, people always ask, who do you think is going to win first place, fourth place? Not who, but like the scoring. What, I usually say first place, it depends on the event aggressively. It depends on species bonus, nature bonuses, how common you can catch a Pokemon. But in general, first place is somewhere between around like a 174, I would say. First place is usually around a 174, 175. Second place is usually around a 170 to 172. And then third place is usually around a 169 to 170, 168 to 170 or so. And then fourth place is usually around 20 overall score. It's very, very low down there. So, but this catch event is at Turnback Cave in Sinnoh. Turnback Cave, and the catches are Spiritomb, Graveler, Haunter, and Golbat. Hilariously, I've been spending a lot of time at this cave recently, fossil farming on the Ironman account, so I'm very familiar with this location. Definitely bring damp Pokemon, and just make sure you have a Master Ball. If you run into a shiny Spiritomb, you might want to Master Ball. Have a Taunt Pokemon just in case, and a Damp Pokemon, but I would keep your Master Ball nice and handy for those Spiritombs if possible. They are super rare, though, and I think only a Rock Smash encounter. So you might... The question is, do you want to Rock Smash for this event and try to get Spiritomb encounters? Do you want to go for the Graveler? I honestly don't know what's going to be best, or just go for Haunter catches consistently. If I were to guess, I bet it's just to run back and forth and go for wild encounters as opposed to rock smashing, but I could be mistaken. We'll see it all and calculate it all in live time during the event itself. Nature bonuses +4 for Calm, +2 for Careful, and -3 for Lax. And the prize is a gift Cranidos or Shieldon, non-shiny, because that would be too crazy. These are very rare fossil Pokemon, but this is a great chance. Shieldon, Bastiodon, not the most usable Pokemon, I'll be honest. Rampardos, over the past 2 years, has become one of the most meta-used PVM Pokemon within PokeMMO. It is used as a special attacker with Mold Breaker at the best XP training spot in the game. It's the best Pokemon to XP train at the best XP training spot in the game with modest nature, 31 special attack, 31 speed, and then you want to EV train in attack and speed. You want to spam Surf with Mold Breaker. So Rampardos is really good as a special attacker, which is very strange. You wouldn't expect that at that specific location. And then it's also really good as a physical attacker in raids and PVM and all sorts of, little random little tasks around the game. He just hits really, really hard with that 165 base attack. You can select your 4 moves. It is important with a Pokemon like Rampardos to get any egg moves if he has any relevant ones. I'm honestly not sure off the top of my head. Hammer Arm, if you're interested, like, that is relevant. Stomp and Thrash are not as relevant, but he does get access to Hammer Arm as an egg move. So maybe consider adding Hammer Arm to one of your 4 move slots just in case you want that egg move at some point. All right, that's the Cranidos and Shieldon catch event. Next up, this one is a really cool one with a very good shiny prize, in my opinion. This is the Vespiquen catch event on Saturday, the 27th of June at, what is that? Oh, I'm terrible. At the 7 p.m. ET, that is my time zone. So later catch event on a Saturday. This should be a very popular catch event if I were to guess. 7 p.m. catch event on a Saturday, Route 12 in Unova. Combee and Sunkern are the 2 Pokemon you're catching. And look at this prize. Shiny Vespiquen is up for grabs. Beautiful Pokemon, beautiful shiny. And people will really want this, in my opinion, because to get a shiny Vespiquen, you have to get a female Combee. Only female Combees can evolve into Vespiquen. Males will just stay Combee forever. I also really like shiny Combee, but a lot of people want Vespiquen, so being able to get a guaranteed Vespiquen from this is very cool. Not a very usable Pokemon. It's a bug flying type. Its typing is terrible. Its moveset is interesting. Its stats are god-awful. I love Vespiquen, but this Pokemon is not very good in PvP or PVM, but it is a damn beautiful shiny. It doesn't need to be good, so who cares? Get yourself potentially a free shiny Vespiquen, which is a pretty difficult shiny hunt. The best way to hunt it, actually, I believe, is single encountering over at Route 12 in Unova. I've spent a fair bit of time there trying to get one myself. Next up, we have one more official event to cover. Not a catch event, however. This is a screenshot competition. We're here to, once again, to ask you to unleash your most artistic, fashionable, and expressive side. We want you to show us your most complete representation of the day and night cycle within PokeMMO. All you have to do is create an outfit that exemplifies one or both concepts, and if your Pokemon partner complements and the location does too, even better. Judging will be based on the outfit, chosen location, and follower Pokemon. Vanity value will not be factored in when deciding, judging. There is a shiny Solrock or a shiny Lunatone up for grabs, plus 1,000 reward points for simply taking a screenshot within PokeMMO. This is basically photography. It's like a beautiful art style that can win you a prize. I love when they do this. I love when they do these like artsy stuff. As someone who's awful at most things, I suck at art, right? It's beautiful to see people be able to shine through and be able to express themselves and win real, practical in-game rewards because of it. It's fucking beautiful. There's not a whole lot of games that offer that. I think PokeMMO is super, super unique in that way. So shout out to them, and shout out to Mr. Granola for encouraging this kind of competition with the upcoming screenshot competition, which goes live Tuesday, the 23rd of June. So it's probably live when you're watching this, and then it lasts until the June 30th. So you need to make sure you go get your screenshot, get it submitted. You can't alter it. All extra details will be over on the PokeMMO official forums. Next up, it's time to cover our daily item market check-in. We're covering through some of the same trends. We've been covering through a lot of old vanities within PokeMMO and covering how a lot of old vanities over the past 3 to 5 years have actually gone down in price, unfortunately, for better or for worse. It's kind of like a way the market moves, and you have to kind of just adjust with it, right? But something interesting, Santa's Little Helper Hat, a vanity from 2015. This is like around when, I think this might have been the first year for holiday events. 2015, I think it was either very around, I think 2015 might have been the first year we ever saw holiday events within PokeMMO, so keep that in mind. That's a really big deal. This is one of the few vanities, older vanities, that has not actually really gone down in price. You can see back in 2022, August of 2022 is as far back as we have history data or market history data, thanks to PokeMMO Hub. You can see it was around 30 mil back then, 22 mil, but it's really hard to tell with an item like this. We are seeing how many of them were on the market. So there was like 5 or 6 of them on the market back in 2022, and you're seeing the price they were listed at. We are not seeing the price they were sold at, only the price they were listed at. So you have to be very careful when it comes to an item like this. It's hard to judge the true value. The true value is just whatever someone is willing to pay is the really boring answer. We have to kind of glean that from all the data and information that we do have access to. So you can see back then it was like 18 to 30 mil, but then it dropped back down to like 10 mil here pretty quickly in early December of 2022, but then picked back up to around 20 mil or so. So I mean, this item has been anywhere between like 10 to 30 mil, and if we come, it's been very stable. It's just not a very demanded item, but it's a pretty interesting item. And if we come to modern day, it's around the same price. It's around maybe even a little bit higher, which is crazy. Like 30 mil is kind of the lowest, I guess. 22 mil is the lowest. This is one of the few older items that maybe has either increased in price or at least remained stable over the years. Back in 2022, it bottomed out at like 10 mil, 11 mil per item, right? And nowadays, the cheapest you'll see is around 22 mil. At least the cheapest listing you've seen over the past few years. Yeah, back in 2024, it was around 12 to 13 mil. Let's be honest, 13 mil. But that was so like in the past 2 years, or year and a half, 1.5 years, the lowest price you've seen is about 22 mil. So this is one of the only old vanities that has held its value slash kind of gone up a little bit, probably just held, right? And then you also have its counterpart, the Santa's Little Helper outfit, which in my opinion is not very cool as the hat, and it's also harder to make this work in my opinion, but I respect it. The Little Helper outfit, and this vanity has followed similar trends to most other vanities, but even you do see it go down in price here, to be fair. But back in 2022, when it started getting tracked, it was around 26 to 30 mil, 20 mil, and nowadays it's constantly at that 10 mil mark. It did dip down to 10 mil for like a second, it seems like, back here in this era as well, but then quickly rose back to like that 20 mil. This item seems to, well, you can see this item constantly fluctuates between 10 to 20 mil, which is a 100% price increase fluctuation, which is really nuts. You can see it being as low as 9 mil back in 2023. So these two items are standouts. These are very different than the scythe, very different than the jack-o'-lantern mask, the ghost costume. These items have kind of held their value, and I honestly think it's because they're just not demanded that much. I don't think many people like these items or care about them. I'm not trying to hate on them, so my apologies. I respect those who are interested in them, but I think there's just not as much demand as things like scythes, the jack-o'-lantern mask, the ghost costume, things like that. But that is our market, our catch events, our market data check, screenshot competition. Now let's move on into the achievement showcase. If you don't know, you can actually enter yourself in the achievement showcase by going into my Discord and finding the achievement showcase chat and then submitting your own entry. It could be anything from your Pokedex being completed to your first shiny Pokemon to maybe you're working on some alt accounts. Maybe you got all dragon shinies in the game. It could be anything. It could be, you know what, I played 2,000 hours, or I played 100 hours, or I played 2 hours, or whatever is an accomplishment to you is what we want to see in the PokeMMO community. It's a way to show off the average player, give the hardworking PokeMMO players some credit and some recognition, as well as give you guys some ideas and inspiration on what do you want to do today within PokeMMO. The most important question you have to ask yourself when you wake up and play PokeMMO every day is, what do I want to do today? What are my goals? And it's important to give inspiration. It's very similar to Minecraft in that way. It's important to have inspiration and constant goals fluctuating. All right, from Iron Veil, I built my first competitive Pokemon on the Iron Man account and getting started on an NU team. 5x31, Jolly Nature, Durant. Amazing Pokemon. Really cool to see on an Iron Man account, dude. I love the NU PvP on an Iron Man account. Like, that's very specific and difficult to do. Good luck to you, Iron Veil. Love to see it, man. Congratulations. Next up, Dragon Lord. After hunting Dittos, hundreds of Dittos for personal breeding, they finally got their first 3x31 wild Ditto. That is around a 1 in 1,000 chance. So this is really fucking cool to see, man. It's got pretty good stat placement as well. 31 HP, 31 attack, 31 speed. I believe it's around a 1 in 1,078 chance to get a wild 3x31 Pokemon like this. And to get it on a Ditto is obviously sick, because then it's worth more money, obviously, as a Ditto's breeder. So this is like a nice, let's check. Like, this is the cool part of farming Dittos for profit, is that it's consistent Pokeyen. Dittos are very, very consistent Pokeyen, but then occasionally you'll just get like a super good catch like this, and you'll make a lot of extra Pokeyen. Like, honestly, man, it wouldn't add as much as I thought it would. I'm not gonna lie, it's around 100k, so this would add about an extra, but that would add 100k extra Pokeyen to your hour of farming, taking you from making like 180k to like 280k or whatever it may be. So that's pretty fucking sick. And then if you end up with like good nature, I think that's where a lot of Ditto profits are these days. So keep an eye out for stuff like this, guys. Things like a 2x31 modest Ditto, that's gonna be even like a let's see, 1x31 1x31 speed modest is not a whole lot. Let's do spectacular. Maybe Adamant and Jolly are more beneficial right now. That's only like 13k. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked by that. Let's try Adamant. Quick little Ditto market price check. Adamant, there you go. Like, Adamant 31 speed Ditto being 22k. Like, that's some extra nice chunk of Pokeyen. Make sure to always check natures on your Dittos. Don't just sell it as the IV. Double check. 2x31 attack, or sorry, 2x31 Adamant Ditto is 75, 80k. Like, that's almost as much as a 3x31 Ditto. That's crazy. And then just a 1x31 attack IV Ditto with Adamant Nature is also the same, around 23 to 22k. Let's go double check Jolly really quick. It's good to get footage of the market like this. It's good, I think, for the history of Pokemon. I wish I honestly recorded just more flipping footage or more footage of me price checking things and seeing how every year it changes and the price of Pokemon adapting is really, really beautiful documenting for those purposes, for the history of Pokemon. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into our next, get back to the achievement showcase. Our next achievement, my first ever shiny Pokemon from Lakindu. Just scored it an hour ago from the post. I hit my first hunt with my team, even in my Sun and Moon save. Pikachu was the first Pokemon I looked for, so this was amazing. That's beautiful, dude. Went 66,000 encounters dry across 3 accounts. 66k dry for your first shunt is quite the journey, man. Congratulations on your first shiny, a sick Pikachu. 31 Spatak could be usable or relevant as well. Congratulations. Next up, another Iron Man achievement. Dude, I've been underrating just how many Iron Man I think we have playing Pokemon recently. I might need to step it up on those Iron Man guides because we have some real fucking Iron Man gamers lurking about, dude. Lone Lion, first time playing Pokemon. I started an Iron Man on January 1st, 2026, at the very beginning of the year. I played fairly casually on mobile and now has 500 hours played, Pokedex completed, and just finished this Pokemon. And this Pokemon is a 5x31 Adamant Alpha Larvitar. This is, as someone with a 6x31, you know, Alpha T-Tar on my Iron Man account, that was one of the happiest breeds. I think it's the best breed I've ever done on the account. And I know the moment of this. You only get, for those who don't know, you only get 1 Alpha Tyranitar spawn per PokeMMO account once you complete the Pokedex. To actually be able to take that 1 Alpha T-Tar spawn and turn it into an amazing T-Tar like this, it takes a lot of resources on an Iron Man account. So congratulations once again to dude, one sec. Make sure I double check and get your name correct. Lone Lion, congrats once again, dude. Very fucking cool accomplishment, dude. It's really cool to see fellow Iron Man get something like that done. Next up, Justice Dog. Golden Shiny Collection coming along nicely. What a beautiful Pokedex entry. You might notice on the right side, though, well, firstly, the Shiny Magikarp at 62,000 encounters. Insane, or sorry, 87,000, basically 88k total encounters. Congratulations. And then the Goldeen at 1 total Goldeen encounter. He was just doing the Pokedex. He got 1 Goldeen catch and it came out shiny. Kind of a funny Pokemon to get shiny during your deck completion, but fuck it, a shiny is a shiny. We take those. Congratulations, Justice Dog. Next up, Zacian. I think I talked to this guy in my stream chat, and that's why he talks about it like this. I got told that I needed to post this here, so here I am. I am beyond lucky for no reason besides me missing out on the Persian shiny. No shiny charm or donator status. I'm sad for the Persian. It died to my brain, AFK payday farming for a legendary bird, but that will teach me to shiny hunt without sound. I always try to tell people there's a few different settings. Number one, PokeMMO will actually give you a warning. If you try to, well, not for payday, no. That's the scary thing. For a single encounter payday, it will not give you a warning. If you try to run from a shiny, you will get a confirmation on your screen that says, are you sure you want to run? And if you try to use an AoE move into a horde, like Discharge into a horde, or Surf into a horde of Pokemon with a shiny, it will give you a warning. The most important settings you want to go ahead and have turned on. Number one, mute audio when unfocused. Turn this off. I almost lost a shiny because of this at one point, because I was watching anime on the side and I was like alt-tabbing to like watch anime and shiny hunt Celio, and I had this clicked on for whatever reason, and because I had this clicked on and I was alt-tabbed out watching something, there was no shiny noise that played. Just straight up no shiny noise. The shiny noise will not play if you are alt-tabbed out multitasking if you have this clicked on. So make sure this is clicked off, and then make sure to just try to have your sound effects volume turned up to whatever is comfortable for you. But all right, back to the fella's achievement. This guy has an insane lucky streak. That's the important thing. Currently 22,000 encounters on dry right now, which is, you know, still 22k dry, quote unquote. But look at this guy's streak. A shiny Marowak at 4,000 encounters. Another shiny Marowak at 1,000 encounters. A shiny Mantine at 4,000 encounters. A Graveler after at 500 encounters. A Nidorino at 3,000. And then a Rapidash at 3,000. And then a Persian at 2k that he lost. This guy has seen 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shinies. He has seen 7 shinies. And he's never been over 5k encounters dry. This is Genuinely one of the most disgusting wet streaks I've ever seen in PokeMMO. He has 163 hours played. Like, this is disgusting. No shiny charm, no dinner status, which is awesome. Love to see that. This is insane. This is disgusting. This is insane. This is beautiful. Yeah, I mean, this is what you hope for. Congratulations to this guy. I am honestly mortified at the dry streak coming your way, Zacian, because I'm going to be so real with you. There is a dry streak coming your way. RNG will even out, and I hope that you pull through, King. I believe in you, but this is an insane wet streak. Just absolutely bonkers. This is all within like 2 weeks, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He got one shiny every other day on average. If you showed someone these encounters, you would think that they were playing like the traditional Pokemon games like Fire Red with the 1 in 8,000 shiny rates. And then even if he was playing those games, this would still be disgustingly lucky. Even if he was playing the original games with the 1 in 8k shiny rates, not 1 in 30k, this would still be crazy lucky. To just put into perspective how insane this wet streak is in PokeMMO is just ridiculous. Like, what's 4,000 encounters comparatively? Like, okay, let's do some math actually really quick. And I'm terrible at math, but let's try our best. All right, if we go ahead and we take our stuffed calculator in the middle of the screen and we take 30,000 encounters divided by 4,000, right? It's going to tell us how ahead of schedule this essentially was. That's 7.5 times luckier, right? That you would have been 4,000 encounters times 7.5 would equal 30k, okay? That essentially means, to put it in perspective of the traditional games, right? This would be like hitting 7 shinies in a row in the traditional games between 500 to 1,000 encounters. Imagine hitting 7 shinies in a row under 1,000 encounters in the original games. This is just truly insane. Genuinely one of the craziest wet streaks I've ever seen in PokeMMO, and I feel like something like this is so easy to brush past, but that is bonkers, absolutely bonkers. And so nobody thinks he's like cheating. The MS Paint thing at the very top, I cropped it like that. He did not do that. I wanted to make it look better on the stream, so don't think that he was like editing this photo or some shit. I don't think this photo was edited by any means. He was just plopping his screenshot into MS Paint and then took a picture with his phone, so that was like his little screenshot. I don't think someone who is doing that is going to be editing I don't think the photo is edited at all. I think it is real. It is just insane. Maybe I'm missing something, but that is just a crazy wet streak. Anyways, next up, we have a beautiful story. A lot of beautiful stories to talk about today. Hey Pat, recently you featured my 184,000 encounter dry streak on one Golbat shiny, and you said I hope you get the Murkrow soon. Well, it finally happened. I got some other shinies along the way, but I kept grinding in Lost Cave, and tonight I finally got it after 7 phases. Never give up is his message. Never give up. I always say, within PokeMMO, the only way you lose when shiny hunting is if you give up. But look at this ridiculous encounter history. 7 phases. His first phase was 184,000 encounters. Second phase, 47,000. Okay, he's gotten really unlucky so far. Surely he'll get lucky on the next hunt. Nope. 76,000 encounters again for a Golbat. Next up, 32,000 encounters for another phase. A 4th Golbat. Do you know how many people would quit the game right there? 4 Golbats in a row, all disgustingly over odds. Next up, Miss Drevius at 27k. It's another phase. At least it's a new phase, and it was a little lucky. A little bit of a glimmer of hope, but then nope, those hopes are crushed and dashed by a 20,000 encounter Golbat, your 5th shiny Golbat. And then finally he was able to get on the 7th phase his shiny Murkrow at 34,000 encounters. What was supposed to be a simple Murkrow shunt turned into a fucking legend. Congratulations to you. This is a real shunt. This is a real full shiny hunt within. If you can do this, TK Zombie, you can do anything within PokeMMO, man. Incredible work, nice job, and congratulations. Next up, our final achievement showcase in this very long stream recap intro. There's always a lot to cover on Mondays. We have a lot to catch up on Mondays, so it makes sense. But here we are, Z Thulio, from the creator of the secret shiny Magikarp Flea. A shiny Lapras has appeared after a month from that Magikarp. However, the Magikarp sacrifice still wasn't worth it once again, and and it's kind of like a horror movie. After 12 turns of pure pain, another flea in the accursed pond. Back-to-back fleas. When will I be free? Brother is out here writing fucking haikus over law. What losing two shinies in the Safari Zone back-to-back will do to a motherfucker. He's on his 5th phase, and he's only caught 2 of the Pokemon. That's what really breaks my heart. How have you seen 5 shiny Pokemon in the Safari Zone on the way to your Lapras, and you've only caught 2? 3 of them have fled. 1 of which being a Lapras, 1 of which being a secret shiny Magikarp. An insane tale from Thulio. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this to see the encounters, but that's just... I have seen so much Lapras tragedy recently. 25,000 encounters for the Magikarp, 21,000 for the Lapras, all single encounters, obviously, by the way, so it's a very, very long shunt. Good luck to you, Thulio. Keep going, man. If other people in this achievement showcase didn't give up, you can. I've seen you put in the work before. I'm not even worried about that. It's more so I hope you get some good RNG, and I hope you get that Lapras soon, as well as everybody over there. I've seen a lot of Lapras horror stories recently. We are bound to see some Lapras beautiful stories soon. So that is our stream recap intro, fellas. I'm sure chat will have tons of questions today in stream, in a second live. If you want to come watch these live, come check me out Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Let's go ahead and see what the PokeMMO community wants to talk about today. We could have a pretty good discussion on this, honestly. Safari Week this year in PokeMMO, there's been a lot of positives and negatives. I haven't really been participating much, sadly, and I apologize. There's been so many amazing unofficial events hosted by people like Call Me Sensei and Zanarchy and Team Risk. There's so many cool unofficial catch events and little shiny wars that are awesome for the average PokeMMO player. I think even got more people this year involved in Safari Week than previously. However, as someone who's focusing on my Iron Man account, I can't do unofficial events. It's against the rules of the account. So unfortunately, I've been participating less in Safari Week this year than I normally would. Normally, Safari Week is just a 1-week period where you shiny hunt in the Safari Zone for the love of the game, for the glory, just to get shinies, whatever. I think hosting events and having rewards has really encourage more players than normal to do it, which is beautiful and awesome, but it's kind of demotivated me, which is just, I'm sharing my personal opinion. I think this is a better thing for the game. Let me qualify and then share my own personal feelings. Yeah, sounds like you could do it for the love of the game. You're right, but I'm a little demotivated since I think I'd be one of the few people, you know, kind of running back. Like, I'm still down to a little Safari shunting, but at that point, I'd rather just prepare for Shiny War. You know, I was willing to sacrifice some of my Shiny War prep to do a little bit of Safari shunting for fun originally, but I think now that it got split up, unfortunately, and it's awkward because the main reason all of this happened, right? The main reason all of it happened is because, what's it called? Because Safari Week would have taken place during Shiny War, during the official Shiny War, most likely. So if that's why it'd be a real bummer if I guess we could still do official Safari Week if official War gets, but we'll have to see, unfortunately. That's fucking awesome. We've hit 27 shinies so far in the Discord event. Lots of fails, though. Like, give me a lot of clips, a lot of memories. Yeah, just skip the rewards. Once again, it's kind of like, imagine being, like, really excited to, like, do a marathon, and then you miss sign up is kind of the main comparison, I guess. You could still do the marathon and run alongside, but it's not the same. You know, I appreciate you trying to solve it, but I'm sharing my feelings here. I think this year's Safari Week was better for a lot of people. I think hosting events with rewards gets a lot of people into Safari Week that normally wouldn't do it. But I think for me personally, it just didn't work out, which is totally okay. I'm just sharing, once again, talk about the game objectively and then talk about my feelings and my thoughts and my opinions on it. So it's two separate things, right? That's my thoughts. So if you see me not participating during Safari Week, that's why, to some extent. So my apologies. I haven't really been involved in Safari Week. I've really just been focused on Shiny War prep. My life has revolved around Shiny War prep on the Iron Man account, and it's been a weird gap in my content because everything I'm doing right now, berry farming, gym runs, right? Like, everything I'm doing, I've been preparing to shiny hunts, not even shiny, just preparing to shiny hunt for months. And it's all gonna pay off, in my opinion. I hope it does when Shiny War comes around and I can just go on a crazy streak of waking up every day, shunting for 16 hours, shiny hunt, shiny hunt, shiny hunt. There's going to be a lot of amazing clips, a lot of amazing moments, hopefully. I'm excited for what Shiny War brings this year, and I'm hoping we see an announcement really, really soon. I was really hoping last week, honestly. I'm really hoping this week. If we get to July and Shiny War hasn't been announced, that's where I'll start to be a little concerned. Once we reach July 15th and Shiny War hasn't been announced, it might be cooked. That's where it might be cooked. But I'm hoping, once again, I don't want to plan for, I guess plan for the worst, hope for the best is kind of where I'm at right now. So hopefully I'll see you guys with some Shiny War news very, very, very soon. Just wondering, not saying I've done this or that you should, but if your account gets banned in PokeMMO, can you just create a different account, or is that not possible? No, it's a great question. It depends on the ban. Certain things you get banned for, you are not welcome back to PokeMMO, and they will, it's called IP ban versus an account ban. Certain bans that are severe enough will result in an IP ban where you cannot make new accounts, and they have your IP. They'll just ban accounts on site. Tyler 1 infamously had this happen with League of Legends, right? It's similar to, this is not just a PokeMMO thing. This is a thing that every single game does. IP bans versus account bans, okay? So sometimes you get IP banned, and then sometimes you just get account banned, which is, you'll see this on the forum sometimes, where like they'll be like, you're welcome to make a new account, but you did cheat, so that account has to be punished, right? It just depends on the severity, depends on the type of infraction. That's a great question to talk about, dude. Yeah, I wonder how many people don't know about that. And I don't mean to bring that up in like a negative way. I mean to bring it up in an extremely positive light. I love talking about Epoch, of course. Check out Epoch on YouTube. Yeah. Someone said people don't even know the origin of Epoch. I think like his YouTube channel really sprung out because he got banned in PokeMMO for real world trading. He traded, I think, like RuneScape gold for Pokeyen, or like he traded a friend of his. I don't know the story well enough, so I don't want to recite it incorrectly. But he did some sort of trade between RuneScape and PokeMMO. You can't do that. So he got banned and was like, and he made a video being like, I got banned, I fucked up, I broke the rules. And I was like, based, did you check? Like, there is nothing better. We all make mistakes, we all fuck up. There is nothing better than someone who makes a mistake, says, my bad, I fucked up, I did make a mistake, and then just fucking moves on, owns it. And now because Epoch handled that so responsibly, because he took accountability, he's been able to now build a fucking YouTube channel and make amazing creative PokeMMO content and do really cool shit and build back up his Pokeyen. It's fucking awesome. It's really fucking cool. Someone said, yo, why the fuck is account sharing bannable? Grumpy emoji. The reason why account sharing is bannable, and I believe this is the case in RuneScape and many other MMOs as well, the reason why account sharing is bannable because you enter problems where people will pay other people to play their accounts, especially during competitions. This happened in old school RuneScape where someone would like pay gamers in like third world countries better wages than they would make like in the US, like being a fucking doctor, very similar to like the Venezuelan like gold farming thing in old school RuneScape. But you could pay people to grind your accounts and try to go for like rank ones. It's pay to win and it's uncompetitive, and you entered a lot of problems with this in RuneScape where players would try to pay people to play their accounts. That's why account sharing is not allowed, because it's unfair. People start using it as a pay-to-win thing, and it creates lots of unfair advantages with like two people playing one account, especially during competition. Imagine during Shiny War, right? Imagine during Shiny War, even if it wasn't even someone paying, imagine if there was two people manning one account, right? And someone would play for 12 hours and then go to sleep, other people would play for 12 hours. And then, you know, that would be so unfair. It'd be so unfair and such an uncompetitive advantage. And you have like two people per, it'd be awful. So that's why account sharing is bannable in PokeMMO and bannable in most online MMOs. Great question. It's good to know. I respect the skepticism, and it's good to ask questions. It's also good to answer those questions. It's not skepticism to like doubt and distrust everything and then never try to learn or, you know, solve those things. It's very important to learn why, but it's you should ask why, because there are rules for reasons most of the time in life. Not always, sometimes they need to be changed or whatever, but I like to think in PokeMMO most of the rules make a lot of sense and even are necessary evils at times, like the multi-boxing rule on one device to prevent bot farms in PokeMMO. Like, that's a beautiful thing that we dodge, unlike a lot of other free-to-play MMOs have problems with. So great question. That's very important for people to get a good answer for. I don't know why I thought about this. I think it's because someone brought up like alt account meta or whatever, and like most MMOs, like old school RuneScape stuff. But it made me think about, who remembers the first, I think it was the first Shiny War? The first official Shiny War. Was it the first war? It was before, it was either the first official Shiny War or like a Team Mr. War. It was before the fossil popping buff. So the fossil popping buff made it so prior to the buff, you used to have one Pokemon in your party, and you would have 5 empty spots. You would go and you would open 5 fossils. They would go directly to your inventory, and they wouldn't ever go to the PC. You'd have to take them back, right? You have to go bank the 5 Pokemon, put them in your PC, and then come back and do that back. So you would be constantly running, right? Oso remembers, yep, selling fossil running services. One of the most interesting things that happened in Pokemon history, in my opinion, from like alt accounts or like even just running. In old school RuneScape, you have something called rune running, which is where you pay someone else to run, which is taking pure essence, rune essence, which is what you use to craft runes, from their bank to your character, which is like at the altar where you craft the runes. Okay, think of it as like someone running like coal or resources to you to like your furnace in Minecraft, if like furnaces were like instant or some shit. Okay, in PokeMMO, people were paying players, or like rather just letting them keep all the fossil mons. Players were making 1 million Pokeyen an hour by only having like Oreburgh City unlocked in Sinnoh, and that's it. They were making like 1 million Pokeyen an hour in fossil mons, because what you would do is you would bring all the fossils that someone would trade you a bunch of fossils. You would run them to the player from the bank. They would pop them and then trade you back the Pokemon, and you would keep all the Pokemon, and you would make so much money. Or no, I'm sorry, you wouldn't bring the you didn't bring the fossils. The fossils would just be in your inventory. So no, it was really easy and chill. The end game player, the shiny hunter, would just pop fossils, trade the 5 Pokemon to whoever wanted them, whatever new players could trade. You had to be fast at trading. That was the one thing, and you would get free fossil Pokemon constantly. It was only really around during the first shiny war, I believe. Sorry for the barking. He deserves it. He's a cute dog. But yeah, no one really talked about that. That was it was a blip in the PokeMMO like shiny hunting meta. So speaking about like annoying meta games and alt accounting and stuff like that, thankfully it was only around for a little bit, but love it or hate it, it was really interesting in my opinion. All right, but a 5-hour stream on a Monday to kick off the new week is pretty solid in my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is where I'm going to go ahead and call it. Lots of streams and memes done today. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. Dislike if not, that's okay. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload every single day thanks to your guys' support. And if you want to, help out, support the channel, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal and Venmo really allows me to be here. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and good luck on your PokeMMO grinds. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I wanted to say thank you so much to everybody's name who is on this list. You really allow me to make the content that I do every single day, and I hope I can make it worth your guys' while and add to your PokeMMO journey. Thanks again so much for watching the entire video, and have a great day.